Hi, my name is Whitney Smith. I'm the founder and CEO here at the Smith Investigation Agency. And today we're talking about scams. And really, I want to talk about a type of scam that's different than maybe you've heard before. It's called sextortion. So basically what it is let's say that you meet somebody online and let's say you meet them on some sort of a dating platform and you're conversing back and forth and you think that you and this person are really driving. And maybe this individual sends you a naughty picture, a naked picture, something like that, and then asks for you to reciprocate and send a picture back. Meanwhile, they're not sending a picture of themselves. They're probably using some other victim that they've scammed as the individual that they're sending pictures for. But then you might reciprocate and you might send a picture that, is a nude picture, maybe of just a partial part of your body, maybe the whole part of your body, including your face, whatever that might be. Then the relationship, so to speak, spins and immediately turns into the scam, where the scammer on the other side will say, I now have this nude picture of you. And let's say it's a teenager, for instance, to say, I'm going to tell your parents, I'm going to show this picture to everybody at school. I'm going to expose you if you don't pay X amount. So $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, the number varies based on the individual that they're targeting. In this situation, if that happens, call law enforcement right away. Ultimately, the individual's probably not going to share the pictures. They just want money and they're going to move on. But one of the biggest problems with this is we're seeing now this uptrend of sextortation taking place because the typical scams that the scammers have been doing are kind of, they're running into issues where people have gotten wise to them. So now this is one where, people just think they're conversing back and forth with someone that they might be interested in a potential relationship, and they're nonchalantly sharing, nude images of themselves and getting themselves into trouble. So here we're going to look at just a little bit of some content online. So the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, they've got a website here that is good. And of course, there's a lot of websites with this type of content. But I just wanted to walk you through some of this because a lot of people aren't even aware that this is a thing, especially some generations, maybe they don't know online dating as much or they don't get it. They're potentially just not understanding. Or for parents, you really need to understand this because if you have teenage kids or even, young adult children, that you want to make sure they don't fall prey to this. So, as you can see right away, you're so hot. Thank you. I love you so much. More naked pics. Seriously? Get your pants off or I will share your pics with your friends. So they quickly will escalate from, maybe a seemingly friendly relationship or a flirting kind of situation into something that is more dangerous. So, some of the things that just want to go through is the red flags that we see here. So it says the skilled, ruthless individuals carrying out this crime have honed their technique and approaches to maximize their chances of success. The following are some common tactics these predators use to entice their victims. So developing a false report with the victim. So again, having that communication where maybe they don't do anything inappropriate for a week or 2 weeks or several weeks, right? They're building that friendship or that relationship, right? Where you hear so many people saying, oh, I'm dating someone online. They've never spoken to them on the phone. They've never spoken to them on any kind of WhatsApp or FaceTime or anything like that. And yet they're in this relationship and they seem so committed. So they're definitely doing that on purpose. They're building that rapport with you so that you eventually will be vulnerable with them. Secretly recording explicit videos and messages during chats. So let's say you do have a WhatsApp chat conversation with this individual and, maybe you guys are, doing something that you seemingly think is just fun and you're engaging in, maybe some sexual activity, whatever. Well, they could be recording that screen in more than one way, right? From the device itself, from a camera maybe behind their back, however they might be doing that. It might show your face and it might show, essentially your identity and your nude body hypothetically. So, that's one of the things that they're going to do. Using multiple identities to contact the child, in this type of situation, kids are going to be majorly affected, those kind of preteen ages. Pretending to be younger or a member of the opposite sex. We see a lot of the scammers are coming out of other nations other than Canada and North America for that matter. They're coming out of Africa and Nigeria, all these different areas, right? So, at the end of the day, it's probably some 30-something-year-old man that's acting like he's this woman. We've seen tons of content of scammers exposed in these scam rings. And, it's a bunch of guys sitting in a room and they're all talking on multiple phones on the go, just a table full of phones, having dozens of conversations with victims that they're just, even logistically, that must be a lot for them to keep up with. But I guess they'd rather use their skills in that type of thing. But, they're acting like they're little girls. It could be a grown man who's saying, "Hi, how's it going?" Trying to act like someone who's younger, even to prey on someone who's maybe looking for someone younger, whatever that might be. Hacking accounts to steal sexual images. So, a lot of people might share a Google Drive or a Dropbox or some sort of access to their phone or private accounts, email accounts where they can then access, maybe their Gmail profile and all their Google images. So, able to get into that, where you might even unknowingly share that information with someone, or in a way that you trust them, you share that information with them. Threatening to commit suicide if the victim refuses to send images. The really sad part about that is, they might threaten to commit suicide if you don't send them. And then ultimately the victim who sends them, some of them end up committing suicide because they're so ashamed and they're so scared to get caught and so scared of what people would say and how they would treat them that they feel like it's just better if they don't exist, which if that's you and this is the situation you're dealing with, your life is not worth these scammers. Your family, your friends, people are gonna love you no matter what. So don't allow, being scammed to put you in that kind of situation. There's a lot of hotlines, churches, organizations that you can reach out to for help on that, including law enforcement. Visiting public social media profiles to find out more about the victim, including assessing the victim's friends list and searching for other personal information that they may harm their victim's reputation. So that's a big one where, let's say the person is, let's say 25 and older, 30 and older, has a career, has a family, has something to lose. That's a really big one where, they might say, "Hey, you've got a good job. I'm going to tell everybody at work. I'm going to print this off and blast this all over the place." And that fear comes into that individual. And again, this is where a lot of people are committing suicide off of these sextortation scams that are taking place because they just are so scared of being exposed that people would know that, they sent those images or that they fell for that kind of thing. So, if you're not familiar with what sextortation is, there's lots of content online. We have a blog series, we talk about different scams, but this is even a newer and greater one because the vulnerable individuals here, they're ultimately sharing nude pictures of themselves. It's one thing to lose money. These people are losing their lives, right? So we really want to just educate people as much as possible on the type of scams that are out there. So take a moment, look through some stuff online on maybe YouTube, read some blogs, read some of these government organizations to really just inform yourself, especially if you have children that, maybe have a phone at 12 years old and up or whatever age they're getting a phone, that there's not scammers that are trying to take advantage of them. If you have any questions, you can give us a call here at the Smith Investigation Agency.